what I have found is that we are working, your customers are working, and everyone that they're doing business with is working in a staccato work environment, which is basically that anything that can be done in 5 or 10 minutes tends to get tended to, but anything that takes concentration, takes focus, takes quiet, there's never time for, and those are the legato tasks, right? Can everybody just think about or jot down some legato task that they just don't have enough time for that really would make a difference in your performance? It would really make a difference in meeting your plan. It would really make a difference in really raising your game to a new level. The truth is, for all of us are much more expendable on the staccato tasks than the legato tasks, right? It's in the legato tasks where your unique perspective, where your knowledge, where your scientific knowledge and your problem-solving skills really differentiate you within your company and to your customers. So you need to spend time on those legato tasks. You have to, no matter how much pressure there is, no matter how fast-moving it is. And in this world of like email and crises and interruptions and beepers and BlackBerries, you know, you're constantly interrupted. And there seems to never be time for the legato tasks. You have to counterbalance that force, pull away, shut that out, and focus on your legato tasks, because it is how you are going to make yourself invaluable to your company and invaluable to your customers. I would say that 99% of the people who work, the very first thing they do every day is check their email. Let me see what issues there are, let me see, and again, it's a little warm-up, and then I'm going to get to my most important task. Never happens, right? Because what happens when you check that email? What is email? It's nothing but a bunch of interruptions and aggravations, and why is this person still asking me for this, and I thought that was resolved, and oh my God, we have another meeting? Right? So you start your day off like aggravated. And you're also pulled into the quick stuff. How are you going to pull yourself away from that and now concentrate on that higher level strategic planning? You'll never do it. Never do it. I believe that email, as powerful as a tool it is the most dangerous communication device in contemporary workplace. I think it kills productivity. Kills it. So, the best way to exercise control over email is in your first hour of the day. Because in reality, you've got another 6 or 7 or 8 hours to deal with any crises that may be sitting in that box. You've got all day to catch up. Pull away for the first hour of the day. It is the safest hour to do it. And instead, what I want you to do is use that first hour for your most critical, most strategic legato task. The one thing that you don't have enough time for that would completely transform your performance, that you know would make a difference, that would raise your game. The thing you don't have enough time for, that's what you do in the first hour of the day.
There are many tools out in the market to help with planning your time, such as day timers and Palm Pilots and computer programs. Can you tell us what, if any, of those you recommend?
Sure. I think you need to first decide, because there are so many products out there, that the first thing you need to decide is whether you are a paper planner person or a digital person. Are you paper or digital? That's the first division. And I believe that there are two kinds of people. There are people who are very visual, tactile learners and thinkers. And those are people who can say, oh, that phone number is 5 pages back in the upper right corner in green ink. You need to be on a paper planner. Don't try to get a Palm Pilot. It's not going to work for you. It's going to kill you, and it's going to slow down your thinking. Because visual, tactile people, in the writing, it emblazons the information on their brain. They may not even ever look back at it, but they learn it and they absorb it through the writing. It's that physical touch that does it. And if you try to go to a Palm Pilot, you're going to be, 500 thoughts are going to blast through your brain while you're trying to just find where the to-do list is. It's going to drive you crazy. There are linear digital people who really think very chronologically. And those are people who can look at a very small screen and picture what's on either side of it numerically. I could throw out a date like, oh, you know, that party's going to be on April 15th. And they're like, oh, that's a Wednesday. That's 2 days after my nephew's birthday. And, you know, they just think very chronologically. Those people do really well on a digital format, like a Palm Pilot or a Trio. So think about that. And basically, once you've made that decision, then it's just really a matter of brand.
I think all salespeople might be like this. We always have the feeling that we can do it better than anyone else. I guess the question is in relation to the chapter on delegation and strategies for dealing with the fact that those situations where you've delegated something and it falls back into your lap and ends up taking 3 times more time.
There is a real skill to delegation. I think that the first thing that you need to do is, first of all, you've got to break the habit of total self-reliance, which is what I think salespeople have. It's like self-reliant, go-getters, hungry, you're climbing the mountain, you can do it. No task is too small or too large. And it's very admirable, and it will get you to a certain peak. But what I was saying is that in this work world, you can no longer afford to be totally self-reliant. You have to find a way to break up the work, to free your time for the highest level tasks, for the things that you really are the only person equipped to do. Not just do best, but it is your expertise. You're the relationship closer. You're the person who needs the face time. So figure out what those things are that make your unique contribution, and you have to preserve your time for that. And the rest you try to delegate. Now, you have to figure out if something is worth delegating. Repetitive tasks, things that you just have to keep doing over and over, routine tasks, very worth delegating. Because even if it takes you a few hours to train somebody to do it, once they've got it, you are really freed up. One-time tasks that are going to take you 15 minutes, not worth delegating. Because it might take you 10 minutes to explain it, right? You might as well do. But a one-time task that's a project that's going to require hours of work, that is worth delegating.